Now, the question about what Africa intends to gain from the ongoing U.S.-Africa summit in Washington, D.C. is, at an all-day U.S.-Africa business forum, both the United States government and international organizations have pledged more than $50 billion worth of investment in developing infrastructure across the continent. Now, the idea, however, behind all that investment is to create a conducive environment for American businesses to thrive, to have more made-in-America products in Africa and vice versa. Our correspondent Amarachi Ubani has this report.
President of the Republic of South Africa.
There were more candid discussions on day 2 of the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit as the U.S.-Africa Business Forum held, with leaders and captains of industry sharing their ideas on forging stronger partnerships with the United States. Despite the power shortage and poor infrastructure identified as challenges, they paint a picture of an Africa that is ever improving.
I think it is important for people to look at Africa and see that Africa is changing. There is a good story that is coming out of the continent of Africa in terms of working together, in terms of understanding our problems, in a point of owning up to what in the past could have been mistakes.
6 of the 10 fastest growing economies are in Africa. The period between 2011 and 2015, it is projected that 7 out of the 10 fastest growing economies will be in Africa. But why are we there? Because of strong, of course, pursuit of sound economic policies.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please be seated.
Challenges or no, the United States seems determined to court Africa's trust. On Tuesday, the U.S. government pledged a new level of $300 million in assistance per year to expand the reach of Power Africa across the continent in pursuit of a new aggregate goal of 30,000 megawatts.
And as of today, including an additional $12 billion in new commitments being announced this week by our private sector partners and the World Bank and the government of Sweden, we've now mobilized a total of more than $26 billion to Power Africa, just since we announced it. $26 billion. So today we're raising the bar. We decided we're meeting our goal too easily, Zuma. So we got to go up. So we're tripling our goal, aiming to bring electricity to more than 60 million African homes and businesses that can spark growth for decades to come. Fourth, we'll do more to help Africans trade with each other, because the markets with the greatest potential are often the countries right next door. And it should not be harder to export your goods to your neighbor than it is to export those goods to Los Angeles or to Amsterdam.
Investing in Africa will create jobs in Charlotte, North Carolina, and expand the power supply in Ghana because of the $175 million deal signed by SEWW Energy to upgrade Accra's electricity grid, a direct result of our recent trade mission. Investing in Africa will support workers in California and strengthen the health of patients in Nigeria because of the MOU signed by Environmental Chemical Corporation to construct a state-of-the-art cancer institute in Ibadan. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day.
With the U.S. government pledging millions of dollars, as well as companies such as Bloomberg and international organizations such as the World Bank and OPEC pledging billions of dollars to be invested in Africa's power and business infrastructure development. The United States says it's not in competition with China, but to others, it may seem the United States does not want to come late to Africa's success story. Here in Washington, D.C., I am Amarachi Ubani, reporting for Channels Television.
For an update on the ongoing U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit taking place in Washington, D.C., we now go live via Skype to our correspondent, Amarachi Ubani, who's standing by. Hello there, Amarachi. Good to see you. Could you give us the highlights of today's session so far?
Hi, Cynthia. Early this day, that President Barack Obama held a meeting, sort of like a panel discussion with most of the African presidents, the 49, because a number of them did not make it to the summit here in Washington. About the Nigerian President, Ellen Johnson, as well as the Sierra Leonean President and the Kenyan President. The President just really put things ahead today about the amount of investment financially into Africa. The main idea is that more Americans into because of that, the U.S. government will be giving American businesses up to $7 billion in finance so that they can establish business in Africa. In addition to that, there will be $14 billion to the $12 billion that he's already mapped out, set aside for the President's Power Africa initiative. Yesterday, also, the World Bank president did announce that the World Bank will give in Africa about $15 billion, and that will be also invested in power and building business infrastructure on the continent. Much later today, just a few hours ago, the First Lady Michelle Obama held a spousal meeting with the wives of the presidents who were attending the meeting, and there she reiterated some of the things that she'd also said to the representatives who came in last week, which was education, the importance of education, the importance of educating the girl child, and how much young people look up to women, the women in their lives, to achieve what their dreams are. So she said the onus now is on these first ladies to provide the young people in their countries the image that they need, the support that they need to pursue their dreams.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to our foreign affairs correspondent, Amara Chiubani, live from the Washington, D.C.